For today, I'm going to just work around the transmission and start adding a whole bunch of stuff to it. We're going to start with the top of the drive shafts. So as you can see, there's a hole that comes out from the diff gear and a hole that is on the top of the drive shaft. That slides right over. You're going to use one of these screws, slide that in. Yeah, there we go. Once that slides in, go ahead and screw it in the rest of the way. The other side is identical, so this part isn't really too hard. Yeah, a lot of people were actually kind of surprised for me to get a used Stampede instead of a new one. And I really did want to get a new one, but I felt like this would be a little bit more adventurous. Not to mention, I got a really good deal for this Stampede. Alright. Okay, top of the drive shafts have been put on. Now, this is where it starts to really become different from the Rustler and the Bandit. It attaches to this instead of the chassis. So yeah, you should recognize that if you have a Rustler. If you have a Stampede, then you know exactly what part this is. This, of course, is held in with 6 screws. But yeah, a lot of people were, I don't know if I could say unhappy about me getting a used one. I really don't mind it. I actually was really enjoying taking it completely apart and just cleaning everything. And I was able to do a lot of how-to videos. At least a couple so far. I know there'll be more on the way. Yeah, because I don't really want to spoil it, but I guess I might as well. I did get a new body for the Stampede because the one that came with this, it's not in the greatest shape. So I'm going to show you guys how to paint an RC body. I mean, there's a lot of videos out there showing that, but I might as well do one too. Also, I am not going to make the theme of the Stampede green. I think that is really cliche just because of the Gravedigger out. And yeah, I know RPM and Traxxas all release their green parts. I'm going to go ahead, stick with the original choice I made, and that is red. That is why the logo in the beginning is red. Logo always reflects the color theme. Really does annoy me that I'm able to build the whole Stampede before I can finish the Nexus. I'm still waiting for that transmission and servo. Nexus is pretty much done. I have everything for it. But, oh well, I guess I'm just going to have to go buy the parts. Okay, switch out the nozzle. So yeah, a whole lot of screwing. Nothing too exciting. But yeah, the color theme's going to be red. And I'm not going to do really any upgrades. I mean, there's going to be 3 upgrades, I guess you can call it, while I'm building the Stampede. Everything will happen after I finish it. But after I finish it, it'll be just like Demon. I'll be going ahead and making a lot of upgrade videos for the Stampede. So yes, this will not be the last time you see Zeaus. And the same thing will happen with my Bandit when I can finish it. Alright, starting to look good. Now we can actually bring in the chassis. A lot of people kept asking me why or how did I dye the chassis. Oh, that's really easy actually. Helicopter going over. Yeah, I live right next to the airport, so they can get rather noisy. Gotta line up this hole just right. There we go. But yeah, a lot of people were asking how I dyed the chassis and all the parts. I made a how-to video of that, so just look up it, or look up a video on my channel. You should be able to find it. I use RIT die. And if you live in America, you can find that pretty much at Walmart, and it's really cheap there. And you can find it at a lot of grocery stores. Alright, there's one side, and now for the other. So, yeah, any questions, feel free to ask. And if you want to correct me on anything, go ahead, I don't really care. I'll knowingly admit that I don't know everything about RC, so if you know something I don't, feel free to tell me. Okay, now, there's not pretty... Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. Just going to add a couple more parts. Mainly, these. And they go on this thick little plastic washer, and then they get screwed in. But yeah, I was actually kind of surprised when I took the Stampede apart. It had a lot of parts in common with the Wrestler. I don't know if that's Traxxas being clever for reusing parts, or if it's just lazy. I guess it does save money in the end. Alright. Now I gotta do the other one. And it's the same thing. And yes, I will eventually be getting the battery expansion kit so I can put the LiPo battery in here. It's kind of sad because you can't really alter the chassis because it's really compact. Could have given a little bit more room for you to mess around and modify it, but this other thing that's kind of bumming me out is I was looking around on the Stampede chassis and they really just don't give you any room. So I won't be able to do a ground effects for my Stampede. I'll be able to like do headlights for the body because there's plenty of room in there, but oh well. Okay, now it's time for this plate. This plate is where the waterproof receiver box and the ESC rest upon. And it's just held in with 4 screws. A whole lot of just repetitive screwing in. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys a few things. That's why I'm actually showing you this. Hopefully I'll be able to finish that Bandit soon. You know, probably in the future, people are going to be wondering, well, I just watched you finish that. Well, right now, while I'm making the Stampede, I still don't have freaking transmission and the servo. I was actually really tempted to just use this transmission and servo from the Stampede and finish Nexus, but I don't know, I wouldn't feel really right about that. Not to mention, I've been wanting the Stampede and been telling you guys I was going to get it for so long that I'm tired of waiting, I'm tired of putting it off. It will be made. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I'm going to be doing for today. Next video, I really don't know what I'm going to do in the next video. Guess I'll go ahead and start assembling the rear shock tower. Get all the rear assembly done. Alright. There we go. Looking a little bit more like a Stampede. And that is all that I'm going to do for today.